Was this pastrami a success or failure? The lessons we learned in making this. So follow along with this video and you'll see what we did step by step and what we're going to change. We really like pastrami, but in the stores it's so expensive and you don't know what you're getting. So this is something new for us, and we've been doing pork and bacon and all that and turkeys. We wanted to switch it up a little bit with pastrami. We absolutely love pastrami. So this is something new. We took a lot of recipes, did a lot of research the last few weeks, months actually, and we like to tailor everything around what our taste is. Clement's Family Farm. We have a certain taste that's a little different than everybody else. We like this kind of a sweet and savory. So all the recipes that we come up with today are our own, and we'll link it in the description below. If you want them, check it out and try them out for yourself. But today, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing pastrami. So let's get with it. So when I first got the pastrami, I brought them in, I trimmed them up a little bit, and I'll show a little bit of that. And then I went right into a brine. These things need to brine for 5 to 6 days. And then what we did this time was we did a dry aged brine for 1 day. With the brine mixture, we cleaned them up, put them in the brine, put them in the fridge for 5 days. About every other day, I went in there, mixed them up, make sure that they were getting full brine around and there's nothing sticking. And then on the 6th day, actually the 5th day, we pulled them out of the brine, we rinsed them off really good with lukewarm water, and then we put them on these racks and then back into the refrigerator. That way that moisture can weep off of it and they can dry up a little bit. So this morning, they've been sitting here, getting to room temperature, and now we're getting ready to put our seasoning on. With the pastrami, when you go into the smoker, everybody's talking about the crust and everything, and I really wanted that nice crust. Well, what goes with pastrami? Mustard, and a little bit of sweetness. So today, we're going to be doing a rub on it with some honey mustard that I made yesterday, and then a dry rub that we made yesterday to go along with it, to get that beautiful crust on the pastrami. So the mustard recipe is really easy. It's 1 cup of standard yellow mustard, a half a cup of Dijon mustard, and a half a cup of honey. And all I did was heat it up just a little bit to blend it all together. And then I added a little bit of cornstarch. I wanted this mixture to be a little thicker to stick to the pastrami. And then it'll also help with putting the seasoning on. So we're going to go ahead and put the seasoning on. I'm going to start off with the mustard rub. And all we're going to do is just get it on there. Fill all these cracks, crevices. So that's pretty much it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put the dry rub on and get it nice and coated. So this dry rub is another mixture that we came up with. It has mustard in it. We left out the coriander. That's usually in most of the seasonings that we saw. We're not big coriander fans, so we just left it out. So that's pretty much it. We're just going to do the rest of these and get them in the smoker. Okay, we're out here at my smoker. I use a Bradley biscuit smoker. I'll link a description for the newer models. They don't have this model anymore, but I'll link in my description the smoker I'm using. And I am using apple biscuits. So you can see these biscuits right here. These are 20-minute biscuits. So three biscuits is an hour. I just put a bunch in there and just let it go. I really like this smoker. It's really nice. And I'm also testing out a new Tomasi 4 Pro temperature gauge for the meat. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. It smells wonderful, and get this pastrami started. And pork belly. Who doesn't like pork fat? Alright, I got my hot gloves on. I always forget how hot these trays are, or these racks are, when I pull them out. So, got my hot gloves on now. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. So the other thing I did here with these probes was, it's nice that they're color coordinated. The coordination goes along with each probe, so I could tell which rack it is. So all I did was I started with probe 1 being at the top, probe 2 was the second one down, probe 3 and probe 4. That way I know when I go inside, I can look at it and I know which one's the bacon and which one is the pastrami. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this up. My temperature's rising, the smoke's gonna go, and I can check this from the inside now. Alright, so the Bradley smoker is a low heat, and it'll probably get up. It's a beautiful day out today, not too cold. So with the low heat, it might get up to about 200 degrees. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and check these about every hour. I think I'm going to rotate them in about an hour and a half. I'll see how they are in that time. I'm going to change it up. I usually don't rotate stuff, but I'm going to try rotating, try something new, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you in about an hour and a half.
Welcome to my crib. Old MTV videos.
All right, so time got away from me today. I started this a little late, and but we're still smoking the brisket. I pulled the bacon off earlier. They were done and ready to go. So here we are. I'm gonna let these go, and I'm gonna catch this video back up in the morning. But I wanted to show you how everything is looking after, I believe, 4 hours. So the new temperature probes are working great. Been monitoring it from in the house. Look how beautiful those are. So I'm going to give them a couple more hours. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a couple more hours. And I don't know. I'm going to look at the temp again. And I might just wrap them and throw them in the oven at a low temp and call it a night. And then we'll pick this back up in the morning when everything's nice and cold. And we'll test it out. Might do a little taster when it's warm. But anyway, we'll see you in the morning. That's my issue right now. That's my other issue. They're making fun of me behind the camera. Yeah. See what I have to deal with? Yeah. Oh, shenanigans. Shitheads is what they are. Balls. What is that word to set everybody up? Balls.
For the blooper reel?
Yeah. You're balls.
No paparazzi.
Oh, the lights, camera. Oh, more. I love it. All right. You can tell it's getting late. I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So today's the next day. We finished smoking last night and put it in the oven. So what you saw last night was we put it in the smoker. About 3 hours into it, I removed the bacon that I had in there and I raised up the pastrami or the brisket and put it at the higher level where it was a little hotter at the top. The thermometers were telling me it was a little bit hotter at the top. So we moved it up there. It was still right around 160 degrees inside the smoker, which is perfect. I like that low heat and I wanted that smoke to really penetrate. So after I removed the bacon, put the brisket up higher, we let it sit for it was a total of 6 hours. So 3 more hours after that. So it was starting to get late last night. I got a little late start yesterday. So right around 7:30, the 6 hour mark, we removed it and we put it in one of these deeper trays and a rack on the bottom. I didn't want the pastrami to sit on the bottom. So, and then we covered it with tin foil and put it in the oven at 350 degrees. And we put the temperature probe in there because the magic number with brisket is 203 to 205 degrees. And I'm going to tell you, I sliced off a little bit of the brisket when we pulled it out of the smoker, and the flavor was incredible, but the texture of it was just like everybody said. It was pretty rubbery and tough. I guess that's one of the problems with brisket. This is my first time with messing with brisket at all. I don't know why, because I'm going to tell you, I should have been doing this for years. This is incredible. But anyway, I was like, okay, so this does need to go a little longer. So we put the temperature probe in it. We put it in the oven. I monitored it. It was about another 2 hours later. It reached temperature of about 203, 205. And we pulled it out. We just left it on the tray, covered, and we just let it rest. It was cold enough last night. I left it on the counter and just let it rest until this morning. I pulled it out this morning, sliced off a little bit, tried it. I'm going to tell you, the recipe and the seasonings that we used is incredible. It was in there. It was pastrami. I was surprised. I was thinking it was going to be like a corned beef. It was corned beef, but no, this has that pastrami flavor to it, and it's incredible. Like I said, I'm 50. I should have been doing this when I was in my 20s because this is incredible. The flavor of it is wonderful. So one of the lessons I learned, I watched a lot of videos. I watched a lot of guys do this. I should have paid more attention to what they were saying. To me, I wanted to do it my way and learn from it. And I did learn from it. Because I did see, if you look at some of this So if you look at it right here, you can see that it's a little lighter color in the center. So what that means is the brine it was sitting in didn't get into the center. So I need to adjust my brine time. Is the flavor there? A little bit. So that, tasting it, it tastes like roast beef. The outside where the nice red color is like this. This is all red color. That's pastrami all the way. That's the flavor you're gonna get. It's pastrami all the way. This one here, it's all pastrami except for a little roast beef. Is it a failure? I don't think so, because this sandwich right here is incredible. Well, it's gonna be incredible. I just made this nice sandwich, well, my wife made this nice little sandwich. I'll eat this all day long. I don't care that it tastes like roast beef. Right there in the center. When you're eating it, I was taking taste bits as I was slicing it. It didn't matter. You still got that pastrami flavor. I did take it out of a brine on the 5th day instead of let it go on the 6th day. That might be part of my problem. This was a thick cut, and I saw some guys on the tip, what they were calling the tip of the brisket. Some people were cutting off. There's a fat layer in there. Let's see if I can show you. So there's a fat layer that runs in this tip. If I had just cut and separated the two meat flaps, I probably would have been just fine with the 6-day brine. I do need a 6-day brine, that's for sure. I did 5 days and then did the dry aging. I should have done 6 days and dry aged. I don't know if the dry age make any difference. I'll probably do 6-7 days next time and see if there's a difference with the dry age. Lesson learned. Separate that flap, remove that. You're gonna get 3 pieces. For me, it was, I cut it in half to fit my smoker. Should I have injected the brisket with a little bit of brine prior to it going in? Maybe. I might try that next time and see if it makes a difference, because even some of these smaller pieces. So here's a thinner piece. So here's a thinner piece. You can see that brine didn't penetrate all the way in. So my mistake. Is it a failure? I don't think so, because I'm going to eat it. So yeah, I like it. Every time I do something, I learn something new. Brisket was something new for me. 203 mark was the ticket, because now when you look at it, I guess the test is you don't want it falling apart, but you want some elasticity to it, and that's what we get here. It just pulls apart. There was no way in heck last night that you could pull that apart after sitting 6 hours on the smoker. There's just no way. I mean, it was like chewing a leather glove. I've never done that. I can only imagine. So anyway, yeah, that's where we are. So the recipe, as far as seasonings, I will link that in the description below, was spot on. That honey mustard rub really comes through. I can't tell you how pleased I am with this. So I'm going to tell you, this was not a failure. It was a learning lesson though. Alright, that was the end of our pastrami video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something like we did on it. And we can move forward on making a better pastrami. It has been a couple days since we filmed the pastrami, and out of that 10-pound brisket, we rendered about 7.5 pounds when it was all said and done after trimming and everything. Today, yeah, we only have about 1 pound left, so it was pretty good. We plan on making more in the future and correcting some of the mistakes that we made. But we're we are keeping it real here. We're going to show you our mistakes. That's just kind of what we do. On our homestead, we really try to keep things real. We don't get paid for any of this. We do cater kind of on a side hustle, so we have a little bit of experience, but I am not a chef. We just like to cook here, and we're just trying to share that with you guys. We're going to be showing some more about our homestead in the future videos. But so if you like our videos, please subscribe and hit the notification button so you get the new ones as we update them. And thank you everybody for watching, and we do appreciate all your comments. And we try to answer all the questions that we can within 72 hours or within a couple days. We are busy doing our normal stuff here at the homestead. We do try to answer them as soon as we can. So be patient with us, and we'll see you on the next video.